Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing some checklists, and I'm also going to be playing around with the basics of the autopilot for the Cessna 172. This video is supposed to be watched in conjunction with a video by Eric Lund, who has posted his own version of the A2A checklist on, let me just check, the FS Flight Lessons YouTube channel. If you have not gone over there and had a look around, please do. That is the FS Flight Lesson channel. What he's doing is he's creating videos of him flying in real life, and then he's taking that knowledge and that expertise, if you like, and he's giving it to us as flight simmers and saying, this is what you could do in the flight sim world because this is how it's done in real life, which is very interesting, I find, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this plane here and this in a simulator and say, you know, this is how it should probably be done in a simulator. Me not having any real world aviation experience as of yet. But he is coming from the other end where he's saying, you know, this is what's done in real life, so try this in the simulator, you know. So he just recently created a video of the A2A checklist based off of real world procedures. Not that A2A haven't already provided their own checklist and so forth in the manual, they have, but this is just something that he's done by himself, and I thought that's a great idea. Post them over to me, so he posted them to me, and here I'm going to create a video which hopefully displays or shows you how to fly the Cessna using his checklists. So basically, if there's anything in this video to do with the checklist that you don't understand, you should click on the video in the link below, which will take you to his video where he explains the checklists in a much greater depth or detail than I could. Him being a real-world pilot and me not being so. So that's the object of today's mission. Today I am standing on the tarmac at Bristol, and we actually have a 14-knot wind coming from the south from 170. So I'm also going to be able to do crosswind landings here as well as the checklists and the autopilot. So it's going to be an interesting day. And I'm also going to bring on a VATSIM Bristol tower as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how many mistakes I make. But anyway, let's get stuck straight in. I've done my pre-flight. I've done my plane walk around. So let's just jump in the plane here. So to begin, if we just go over to my laptop here, you'll see Cessna 172 R checklist before start. Documents and pre-flight completed, yep. Passenger debriefing, as you remember, something. Obviously in a simulator we don't have to bother about talking to real life people. Seatbelts are not on, but let's just pretend they are. Parking brake is on. If you remember in the video of his, he said what you do is you push these your two rudder pedals in, and then pull on the parking brake like so. And so in real life you'd have to reach down there and do that. What do we have next? Parking brake. Flight controls, free and correct, as he said in the video. Let me just bring on my yoke here. You turn the yoke to the left to begin with. Have a look out the window. Yep, my left aileron is working. Let's do the same for the right. Yep, right is working. And then over the left shoulder, have a look at the controls behind us. We've got our elevator and our rudder, which does work as well. Okay. So after that, flight controls. Okay, avionics master switch is off, as we see. Circuit breakers are all in. Here are circuit breakers, I believe. A2A have not modeled circuit breakers, but I heard somewhere on the forums that they will do in a future update. If anyone has any information on that, please let me know or comment in the section below. Rotating beacon on, which is beacon. There we go. But we have no electricity supplied to the plane yet, so that's actually not working. As you can see, the beacon is that red dot on the very top of the fin on the back. Rotate it. Okay, nav lights as required. It's daytime, and as Eric Lund said, in the day you don't really need nav lights, but for the sake of being flashy, I'll put on my nav lights. Fuel shutoff valve on. Here is my fuel shutoff valve. If it's out, that won't provide any fuel to the plane. In is on. Fuel selector on both. Let's put it in the middle there, both. Throttle a 1/4 inch open. Okay, here's my... Oop, that was my pitch. It's my mixture. And my throttle is about a 1/4 inch open. Okay, right. I'm ready for engine start. Just scroll down on my laptop here to cold engine. This is a cold engine start. If you look down in my bottom left here, my temperature is at 0 probably, or whatever that may be. Does that show me my temperature? Yep, temperature 57 Fahrenheit. Okay. So I'm going to do electric fuel pump on. Mixture. I must have missed where I put on... I must have missed in the checklist where you turn the electricity on. Master alternator switch on. Yeah, that's what I forget. That and that. And at the moment, let's turn off my... those lights there. Okay, yeah, that's where I missed it. So my beacon and... Yep, there's my beacon, and my nav lights will be blinking as well. They should be, but let's not worry about them right now. Let's get through this tutorial so that I don't spend hours doing this, because my tutorials are usually fairly long. Okay, so let's go back to the cold engine start, having now supplied electricity to the plane. Fuel pump on. Mixture rich 3 seconds. 1, 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Oh, yep, okay. Electric fuel pump off. Now let's skip the warm engine startup because obviously I'm not doing the warm. After start. Oh, okay. Yeah, you do need to do the warm engine. What we do is we open our window here, and we shout out the window clear prop, and then we engage. So the way this will work is I will turn my ignition on, and as soon as the engine catches, I will fluidly push the mixture into full rich, and the engine should come alive. And then as soon as I do that, I will start looking at my oil pressure. I would then stick my head out the window and shout clear prop for all the world to hear, and here we go. Oh, fail start. Okay. There we go. Just adjust my RPM. Let me put my headphones on so that I can hear myself better. Right, so RPM around 1000. Engine instruments checked. Let me just look. Oil pressure is in the green. Yeah. And oil temperature is coming alive. Let me just keep that idle at about 1000. And as the engine warms up, the RPM will increase, and you'll hear the tone of the engine increase as well. Mixture, lean. Yes, let's lean out this mixture. Let's just have a look at... That's about good. I haven't really figured out... I've got the lean on about 50% right now, which should be okay. I haven't really figured out how to properly lean the engine. You have to take it up to the peak, and then you have to bring it down again slightly, and it's a bit confusing. trying to do Eric Lund's checklist justice here. Mixture, lean, avionics master on. That's our avionics. ATIS received, altimeter set. Right, so now I need to receive my ATIS, which means going on to Squawk Box here. Oh no, I loaded up something else. No, never mind. Let's get rid of that. Squawk Box, here we go. And Squawk Box will not connect until I've turned on my radio stack. So that's why I've left it until now to run through the ATIS and the Squawk Box. Note my RPM has now creeped a little above 1,000 as the engine's getting warmer, so let me just bring that back down again. And I'm going to idle just around 1,000 until my engine gets from 77 Fahrenheit to around 100 Fahrenheit. Right. On with VATSIM here on Squawk Box. Okay, let me check whether Bristol Tower. Let me look at VATSPY. Bristol Tower is still there. Yeah, he is still there. So why? Okay, there it is. Right. So let me just write down the frequencies here. Bristol ATIS is 126.02, and Tower is 133.85. And since there's no one else on but Tower, we're not really going to. Oh, there's a plane next to me. There we go. We're not really going to be changing frequencies very much. Right. So in my frequencies box here that A2A has provided, I'm going to put ATIS in 126.02.
Knots, visibility 10 kilometer or more, view 2,600 feet, temperature +13, dew point +9, QNH 1018, threshold elevation 601 feet, Bristol information, acknowledge receipt of information, Romeo, and advise aircraft type on first contact, time 1350, runway news 27, surface wind 180,
Okay, there we go. So as far as I got, information Romeo, runway 27, QNH 1018. So now let's go over to Tower. That's 133. .85.
Would hold Bravo X-ray and request clearance to cross runway 27.
Okay, now I need to file my flight plan. So you can't see this, but I'm just going to do this quickly. EGG.
Number 2809 Kilo, one reaching Bravo X-ray, cross runway 27, vacate onto Juliet and report vacated.
It's loud, I'm going to turn my microphone down.
Roger that, taxi to Bravo X-ray, cross runway 27, and taxi to Juliet X-ray and report when vacated.
Okay, let me just have a look. I'm putting in my route now. Is Western Aerodrome. Okay, so yeah, my engine temperature is now in the green. It's 118 Fahrenheit, so I can go now. Let's just go down after start. Altimeter set. Right, I need to set the QNH setting into my altimeter. QNH is 1018. Let's just get into my altimeter here.
2809 Kilo vacated the runway. Number 2809 Kilo, walk to Bristol, continue taxi to the flying club.
There we go. QNH is 1018. Right, taxi is the next checklist. Is brakes and instruments, flight instruments. Let's just have a chat with Bristol Tower first. Every time I contact ATC and VATSIM, I feel like I'm learning to do ATC transmissions all over again from new. I just get that feeling in my stomach. But hopefully, let's Let me just look over on my yeah, okay. I did have an airport chart, but I can't open it alongside my checklist. It's a laptop problem, so let's just not worry about that now.
This is Tyler, INF1 Alpha, stand 29, Boeing 737-800. Information Romeo, QNH1018, request dive for clearance, Jersey.
Let's just turn my taxi light on while he's...
INF4 Alpha, information is correct, you to Jersey on next 4 X-ray departure, squawk 7775.
Actually, let's not turn my taxi light on because the checklist hasn't told me to do that yet.
Chris Jersey, Exmo 1 X-ray 7775, INF1 Alpha. INF4 Alpha, record is correct.
Okay, here we go. Good afternoon, Bristol Tower. This is Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar with you.
Golf Victor India Delta Echo Oscar and Bristol Tower, I pass your message.
Bristol Tower, Golf Echo Oscar is a type Cessna 172 outbound with information Romeo, QNH 1018.
Golf Echo Oscar, information's correct. Can you report, do you like engine start, sir?
Say again for Golf Echo Oscar?
Golf Echo Oscar, are you requesting engine start, sir?
No thank you, already engine start and sitting on tarmac waiting to taxi.
Golf Echo Oscar, taxi Holding Point Bravo X-ray, 127.
Taxi and hold at Bravo X-ray 427, Golf Echo Oscar. Okay, so got my clearance to taxi, and I will go through the taxi. That guy sounds like he's about to die, but anyway. Right, let's check our brakes first.
That 301, taxi on Well for X-ray 127, QNH 1018. Caution 0172, currently taxiing to Holding Point Bravo X-ray. Please give way to that aircraft.
Okay, brakes are good.
Taxi Alpha X-ray 27 and give way to the 172. X-ray.
That's Alpha. Bravo is going to be just down here.
2809, Kilo requesting engine shutdown.
Bravo's down here on the left. And
Number 2809 Kilo, you have to request engine shutdown in the Europe, sir. Thanks for flying, goodbye. After that, November 2809 Kilo, thanks for your service, bye bye.
okay, I'm going to hold at Bravo here, 427, and I'm going to do my run-up checklist.
Metal 107 is type MVA 145 on stand 14 with information Romeo QNH 1018 request IFR clearance to Aberdeen base as filed.
Okay, looking on laptop here.
The line 07 Bristol Town, nice to see you again. You clear to Aberdeen and Bristol on X-ray departure, score 5433.
1800. Golf Echo Oscar
Good
is...
to Aberdeen as filed on the Bristol 1, the Brecon 1 X-ray departure at squawk 5433. Midland 1807.
Let's just wait and try.
Midland 1807 back is correct.
Golf Echo Oscar holding Bravo 427 doing run-ups.
Golf Echo Oscar, you're in to copy clearance, sir.
Okay, I'll copy my clearance. Ready to copy clearance, Golf Echo Oscar.
Golf Echo Oscar, hold position at spot 50 control airspace by the western outer in VRP, not to altitude 2,000 feet VFR, squawk 5070.
That's cleared to the west, not above 2,000 feet VFR, squawk 5070 for Golf Echo Oscar.
Golf Echo Oscar, read back correct, report ready for departure.
We'll report ready for departure, Golf Echo Oscar. Right, 5. That's my squawk.
107 is for cushion
Let's
start.
just do my run-ups now. So run-up checklist.
Good 1807, pushing side approved for
Mixture rich,
127.
instruments checked, enunciators
Cushion start approved for runway 27.
test, yeah. Magnetos,
And just as hello, Lionel for 1 Alpha, 729, best start.
magneto drop,
1 Alpha,
Left and
1 Alpha,
right.
start, stand only if approved.
magneto drop on the left and right.
Start approved, 1 Alpha.
Gyro suction is here, within limits, just within limits. Throttle idle for a second or two.
Stop 301, 1 Alpha X-ray, only 27 left wing.
Throttles are okay. Okay. Before takeoff, trim, set for takeoff.
Golf Echo Oscar, ready for departure, sir.
Did he say me? Say again, Golf Echo Oscar?
Golf Echo Oscar, ready for departure, so I can fit you in front of the Boeing 737 if you like.
Okay, ready for departure, Golf Echo Oscar.
Golf Echo Oscar from Bravo X-ray, only 27, clear takeoff, surface wind 180 degrees, 13 knots.
Clear takeoff on 27 for Golf Echo Oscar.
And that's 301, caution, there's 7172 currently taking off for 127 ahead of you.
Okay, he wanted to get me out in front of that 737 just to my left, so that's fine. I didn't finish the before takeoff checklist, but it was basically flaps, which I've just set, mixture rich, fuel selector on both, doors and windows are closed, coming up to my yep, there we go, takeoff, and that is a crosswind. Doors and windows clocked, radios and nav aids are set and checked. Takeoff briefing given. Well, we're not actually doing a takeoff briefing.
Red 1807, can you accept departure from Bravo X-ray, sir?
Okay. Line up and climb. That didn't really work out too well. I'm making a hash of this already. So, climb, flaps up, landing and taxi lights off. Yeah. Altimeters set. Yeah. Okay, let's just concentrate on where I'm going now. Let's have a look. Heading of 255.
301, traffic information is just 172, currently turning crosswind, routing west in the control zone. Runway 27, clear takeoff, service wind 190 degrees, 13 knots.
Right, that's my heading. He said not above 2,000 feet, which we are approaching quickly. So my cruise is actually coming on right about now. Just going to throttle, no sorry, mixture's coming back.
Look at her 7, not sure if my last transition came through, but kind of set double.
1807, many thanks, taxi on point Bravo X-ray, runway 27, QNH1018.
Okay, so cruise power set, mixture lean. And my next is my descent checklist, so now I can play around with my autopilot system. Okay, autopilot system. My got some time before our waypoint.
Golf Echo Oscar report, I had the Western Aerodrome VRP.
Oh, that needs to be set to alt, by the way. My transponder. Autopilot, hold AP on. Heading. So I've just selected the heading bug, and I've told it to track 255. I'm actually going to change the heading
301 no for OTC, monitoring con 122 decimal 8, I'm nice, fine, fine.
I'm changing my heading to 247, not 255, because of the crosswind, which is affecting me more than I thought it would, being 13 knots. So I'm actually going to bring my heading back to 240, which is that little bit extra.
Good 1807 from Bravo X-ray, 1827 like length.
And altitude needs to be 2000. I'm going to hit altitude. Right, I'm just selecting the vertical hold or vertical speed function. So I am actually coming down to 2,000 feet. And as far as I know, as soon as I hit 2,000, it will level off at 2,000 automatically. Yep, look at that. Boom. Okay. So the plane, the autopilot is now set, and it is now tracking 2,000 feet, which is what we want. So basically, all I did to turn it on there was I hit the AP button.
That's all enough, stand 29 for taxi.
I held in the AP button.
But then 1807, runway 27, clear takeoff, service winds 190 degrees, 12 knots.
And then I hit the heading button to make the plane fly to the heading that I've selected. And then I hit the altitude button, and you, with this knob here, you set the altitude that you want.
Right, 41 Alpha, taxi on Bristol Alpha X-ray, runway 27, QH1018. Alpha X-ray, runway 27, we can't accept the flight to Bravo X-ray, right now, 41 Alpha.
So the plane now is flying totally without my without me on.
Right, 41 Alpha, taxi on point Bravo X-ray.
Which is great.
Bravo X-ray to 9, F1 Alpha.
Because what this means is that I can now take my mind off the immediate issue of flying the plane, and I can start thinking about navigation, or more complex navigation, ATC transmissions, anything else that may be tricky for me at the time. So I'm just coming up on my first turn here. I will be turning south to a heading of 197 degrees. That'll be coming up soon. And 197 degrees is very close to my wind setting, or my wind heading of 191. So I'll be flying almost directly into the wind, which means there's my waypoint now. So I'm going to change it to 191.
Good 1807, no for ATC, monitoring on 122, left lane, trying to crash at the line, goodbye.
Or I'm going to set it to 195.
Hopefully I will not be back overly soon with another crash. Thanks for the service again, Callum. See you again. 907, bye-bye.
It's busy at Bristol today.
Golf Echo Oscar, Bristol Tower.
Golf Echo Oscar, go ahead.
Golf Echo Oscar, you read my airspace now, monitoring on 122 decimal 8. Squawk 7000. The reader processing, if required, is 1017. Have a nice flight. Goodbye.
Over to 122.8, squawk 7000 for Golf Echo Oscar. Thank you. Okay, I didn't hear the last part of his transmission, but I'm just going to go over to 122.8. He wants to get rid of me because he's got a load of traffic there, which I totally understand. Right, over to 122.8 and squawk 7000. Okay, now it's going to be quiet for a bit so we can concentrate on the autopilot system. Right, so heading's supposed to be 197. We are currently at, we need to change the heading here slightly. 193, 195, 197. Okay, it's set to 197 now. basically this is a square around to the south of Bristol. It's a square that is going to oh, my wind has changed to 10 knots at 138 degrees, so I'm actually being pushed to the right, so I'm going to fly a little bit further left here, something like almost due south. So I know exactly what the wind is doing, where it's coming from and how strong it is, because I'm always flicking back to plan G, which in real life you wouldn't have. So that would be a problem. My next waypoint is Burnham-on-Sea, it's called, in about 3 miles-ish. And if you look out the window, yep, there is Burnham-on-Sea, right there. So as soon as we get over this area here, we're going to turn left again on our downwind leg, our massive downwind leg, if you could call this a circuit of the aerodrome. But the autopilot's doing very well, actually. It's holding at 2,000 feet, and it's holding my vertical speed at pretty much 0, and it's also holding my heading, which is beautiful. I've tried the autopilot a couple days ago at night time. It was quite fun. Flew to Calais from Shoreham with some Kicks VFR Club members. But the autopilot was doing these funny undulations. It was rising and falling steadily of about 200 feet per rise and fall. And I'm not quite sure why, but it just was, and now it's working. So so I've squawked 7,000, and I am on the heading function. So I hit that button, so it's going to follow there. Altitude button. Holds your 2,000 feet of altitude, and to climb or to descend you click the altitude button again, and it will say VS for vertical speed, and you click the up and down buttons to toggle how much vertical speed you want, and then it will intersect your altitude that you've set in there, and as soon as it intersects your altitude, it should level out and hold. I've got a really dry throat here. Okay, how's my plane doing? Okay, coming close to my new heading of 090. My wind is now backed to 141, so I'm going to change to 090 now. Actually, I'm going to go to 099 instead of 090 because of the wind is still coming from 142, from roughly ahead of us there. The wind is coming from here, and if we're going to the left, we want to fly crosswind so that we stay on our vector. That's epically dry throat here. This isn't good. Have a look on plan G. Yep, I'm turning around now. Maybe I should make that turn a bit tighter. Yeah, the wind has actually died down to 9 knots at 145 now. Okay. So yeah, this is great. I've been meaning to get into the autopilot system in more depth recently, since I've been doing the A2A C172 flights, the VATSIM flights from place to place, and all I've been doing is manually flying them, which in and of itself is okay, but now I'm wanting to graduate onto the more complex systems of the Cessna. So that's hopefully what you'll be hearing from or having from me soon, is the more complex systems being used. Let me just check. I can actually enter in the NDB of Bristol, which is 414, so that we can get a vector to the airfield. So let's just go do that now. Let's come down to the frequency setting here, and let's set 4, 4, 1, there we go, and frequency changeover, and you'll see it come alive here. It'll go boom there. So that is an instantaneous vector to the airfield, which is in this direction over here. Ah, lovely. So yeah, I think I'll talk a little bit about what Eric Lund is doing. Let me just adjust my heading because I'm being blown off course still. Eric Lund has started this FS Flight Lessons YouTube channel, and I think it's a great idea because he's coming from the arena of real world flight, and he's coming to make content or help flight simmers in their own learning and hobbies of learning. But he's coming very much from, you know, real world operations, which is very, very good because he will be bringing proper data to the table, whereas I will be bringing simulation theory to the table, which will where it's okay for simulation, but if you want to learn a simulator in order to better understand the real world, I mean, it's good to have some real world stuff as well. So I think Eric and I will probably produce videos in the future together. So this video here I'm doing right now, this is meant to be watched alongside the video that he's produced on his channel, which is to do with the checklist that he's done. So basically he said to me, you know, let's get together, you know, when we said we'll make these 2 videos, but he did a very good job of explaining, let me just check my heading, he did a very good job of explaining the checklist that he produced. I'm not sure if I'm doing a very good job of showing you how to actually use it in the Cessna, but there we go. My next checklist is the descent checklist. It will be mixture rich, ATIS approach briefing, and altimeters. The ATIS approach briefing will come soon. The wind has shifted, which means that we will actually have to land on a different runway than we began. So let me just check VATSIM, see what's going on, or VATSPY. Okay, I can see myself, and everyone's left Bristol actually. No one's left in Bristol, so that leaves Bristol all to myself. Everyone that we were running around with on the ground has now left, which means that it gives us a lovely unpolluted approach. Okay, let me just adjust my heading for the wind. Let me tell you what the wind's doing now. Wind is 21 knots at 186. And what I've got set up here is I've got a Rex 2 overdrive, which is a weather engine, injecting real world weather into my simulation of FSX. And what it's doing is it's actually taking the weather that VATSIM has into the simulator. So what the controllers tell me is the right wind speed and wind direction is what it physically is in my simulator. Yeah, that wind is a little strong. Let's just tweak that heading a little bit more. So that gives me an extra level of realism, and also I'm running FS Real Time, which is an app that injects instantaneous real time into the simulator as well. I have a really bad sore throat, dry throat here. I don't know why. Talking too much. Okay. The autopilot is behaving extraordinarily well. I had no idea it would behave as well as this. But yeah, A2A did an amazing job with this, and I think if you go onto their forums, you'll see, onto their YouTube channel as well, you'll see they are producing tutorials about the comm stack, the instrument stack here of stuff, which is good. It shows you all the subtle configurations you can go on. You can actually save frequencies, and the comm system will actually remember them. You can have a selection of presets. Right, here's my VRP coming up. This is the radio tower. Let's just hope I don't fly into it. Someone just messaged me. Yeah? Someone's just messaged me on Squawk Box. Right, that radio tower's far away enough. Okay, that's the ping. My turn is coming up soon. My next turn will be to 018 degrees. So as soon as we pass by this tower, it's a pretty tall tower right there. Alright, let's make that turn. There's the tower. So let's have a look how the autopilot handles a turn. I'm losing 500 feet per minute, but as you can see, it's pitching it out, and it's trying to correct for that to keep us on altitude of 2000 in the turn. So it's a pretty beautiful, exact autopilot system here. Yes, I am recording, whoever that is. Say hi. EasyY855 Whiskey says hi on YouTube, whoever he is. Right, let's have a look where I am on. Oh yes, I'm a bit far out from my course. I'll let you have a look at my plan G track after I've landed and so forth, and you'll be able to see what's going on. I've got a 12 knot tailwind now, which is going to speed things up, of course. So, in a minute I'm going to tune into tower again. I'll be coming close to the VRP of Chew Valley. Let's just listen to that ATIS just before if we can. 123.95. ATIS is 126. Decimal 02. I don't think that brought up the right thing. Never mind. Let's not do the ATIS. Okay, approaching. Let's go over 13385. Good afternoon, Bristol Tower. This is Golf Echo Oscar, inbound to land, overhead Chew Valley VRP. Did I do that right? Tower is 133.85. Yeah. Did I get my frequencies right? My frequency should be okay. Okay, something's going wrong. Okay, unengage autopilot. I'm going to do radials around the Chew Valley VRP until I can figure out what's gone wrong with my my autopilot here.
Bristol airport information.
Okay, something went wrong with my autopilot system. Okay, I'm gonna type it. Currently over Chew inbound to land. What went wrong with my stack? What's wrong? Oh. Has he logged off? That may be it. Let me just check. Yeah, he's logged off. Okay, so that was confusing. Okay, so let's get back on track here. Sorry for that that mix up there. So my radio stack was fine. It's just that go over to 122.8 to do transmissions. Okay. Okay, and let me check my wind, and we will. So what I'll do, since I'm pretty much almost aligned with the runway, I'll just do my descent checklist of mixture, rich, ATIS approach briefing. Yeah, has been done, and altimeters are set. Let's just throttle back here and put in some flaps. Start descending to 1,000 feet, which is our circuit height. Just check my wind speed again is 12 knots at 129. Actually, no, I should be on the tower frequency to talk on the tower. Oh, I can't talk because it's not listened by anyone. Oh, it's not manned. Alright, just posted that I'm on final. Okay, so the descent checklist is complete. Before landing, seatbelts, yeah, fuel selector, both, mixture, rich, landing taxi lights on, let's set those on now. landing taxi lights. Engine instruments checked. See, oil pressure is still in the green. Temperatures are fine. What do you can't call that a final approach. Peter Mathis. You should be ashamed of yourself. What would Mel say if he saw you now? By the way, Eric, my name is Mathis, pronounced Mathis. Loads of people get my name wrong, but it's fine. My boss at work calls me Mr. Mattress, just because he can. So, it's Peter Mathis. Okay, let me see. On final now. I'm going to do the side slip approach, as shown in my previous video of Cambridge. Before landing checklist, landing lights, engine and brakes. Well, I'm in the air, but you know, as much as I can show, my brakes are ready. Let's just have one final wind check on plan G. 191 at 12 knots. Okay, so my approach speed will be about between 60 to 70 knots. Let's have a look. So I've done my before landing checklist, and the next checklist is the after landing checklist. By the way, bit too fast there. By the way, another checklist that I am wanting to do coming soon is Frugal Sim's tap check, which you can get on the iPhone or the iPod. It's free. You download the app for free, and it comes with some generic checklists already pre-installed, and you can buy a few specialized checklists for certain add-ons for FSX for a small amount. I think it's like 60 or 70p each, and this crosswind is more than I thought it would be. This is going to be an interesting landing. And it's a great thing because it is tap check. The checklist is tap function, and it also has a voice that tells you as well, which is helpful, so you don't always have to look down at something. This is going to be an ugly landing. I have a feeling. I have one of those bad feelings. Come on, baby. Come on. That's right. Do some slight trim adjustments. The trim should be set to takeoff, I think, on landing. That was an ugly final approach. I do apologize. Alright, this is going to be... Oh, that was actually not bad. Though I do say so myself. Right, after landing, pitot heat off, lights as required, flaps up, mixture lean. Let me just get off the runway first. I'll just vacate via Foxtrot. RPM about 1,000 for taxi. And someone asked on my video recently, do you always taxi on the grass? Because they watched my first VATSIM flight, and that was the flight where I had to land and vacate so quickly because a 737 was behind me. I basically almost missed my turnoff and kind of ran over the grass. So no, I don't. Very rarely try to. Golf Echo Oscar, vacated 27 via Foxtrot. There we go. And I should say taxiing to parking actually. Golf Echo Oscar, taxiing to GA parking. Go. Whew. Well, that was interesting. And the final thing on the after landing checklist is the XPDR on standby, which is this thing here. There we go. That is your transponder. And yeah. So that was an interesting flight. I really I didn't pre-plan the autopilot to work that well. I just set it to 2,000 feet, and I set it to climb, or I was pretty much at 2,000 feet when I set it on, and it just locked itself onto 2,000 feet on the altitude hold, and there it was. So the altitude hold worked very well. The heading hold worked very well as well. And the vertical speed held, even in a turn as well. I noticed, even when turning, the A2A Cessna, it jumps around a little bit. I mean, it's a Cessna. I mean, you can't help that. It's not a Boeing 747, but it worked through that crosswind quite well, I thought. And all I needed to do was just adjust the heading bug so that I wasn't blown off course by the crosswind. So in videos to come, I will be... Actually, I have a parking checklist here. Yeah, I'll get to that when I get to the parking space. In videos to come, I'll be going into more depth with the autopilot system. Actually, I might just park here to the left. Oh, my brakes work. Just turn left here. Okay, parking checklist coming up. Just have a look. Ooh, coming in a little fast here. There we go. Right, parking brake set. Avionics master off. Mixture ICO. Oh yes, right, sorry. Pull it, you kill the mixture and you kill the ignition. Magnetos off. Lights off. Master alternator switch off. Yeah, I set that off. Fuel shutoff valve off. Fuel selector either left or right to prevent cross bleeding while the plane is sitting on the tarmac. Oh yes, that is off. I do need to turn the alternator, the master and the alternator have to go off. That's that. Fuel selector left and right. Stick lock tie down. So there's my stick. I need to push it in and then add the control lock. There we go. And that is basically it. Let's just take my headphones off. Let's just open the door. And let's empty the plane. Tie downs, wheel chocks. Boom. Okay, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed that. It wasn't really the most clear-cut and concise showing of the checklist by FS Flight Simulations or FS Flight Lessons, but I hope that it was enough to kind of show you the workings of how it works. Definitely, it's difficult doing a flight and VAT sim in a crowded airport with and doing all the checklists, because as you get close to the runway, you want to do your run-ups. The one part of the checklist. Let me just scroll back up on my laptop here. The one section of the checklist that I didn't get to do was the run-up, because it was the before takeoff checklist here, because the controller, as you saw, he allowed me to sit there on the runway and do my run-ups and stuff. But he wanted to possibly get me away before the 737, and I could have said no and said I'm still doing my run-ups, but I didn't want to cause problems in a real world situation. I'm sure you have perfect right to say no. I haven't finished my checklists yet. I'm gonna complete my checklist, do my run-ups, make sure I'm in a safe condition, and then I'll tell you that I'm ready to go. Oh look, there's a plane coming in there. So that's what you would do in real life, but in the simulator world, I thought, he's asking me to do this, and I was a little bit flustered at the time. So that's just one of the things. I mean, I've been doing this now for I didn't start yesterday. I do have some experience in this, but still, every now and then. Oh, that's an EasyJet. That's an EasyJet A319. I wonder where that's from. He's coming in there. But anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and I hope you found this video helpful, along with the other video by Eric Lund. And definitely, if you want to see more co-produced content by myself and Eric, give me a thumbs up, tell me why and what kind of content. As I say, I'm going to be continuing to produce my VATSIM VFR cross-country videos. One thing I'm thinking of doing in the near future is actually, I was invited to go and fly down in Germany in some VFR flights down to Germany. So I might actually take the Cessna here, and I might fly it from say Shoreham or Cambridge all the way down to Germany, stop to stop. And post the videos up as I do those legs. So I'll post up every leg as it comes, and I'll try and get as much ATC coverage every leg that I go. So if you guys think that's a nice idea, and you might be interested in seeing that, also as an opportunity of seeing how the A2A Cessna copes with the continual progression of the engine modeling and so forth on a longer flight like that. Yeah, just give me a shout out. Tell me what you've found interesting, and yeah, I'll just shut up now. And if you haven't already, go and watch Eric Lund's video. I've posted it in the comments below. So that's it from me so far, and I'll talk to you folks later.